Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. So do you remember back in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 where it had this awesome feature called the Locker Room, where you could fully customize it, you could display your season mode achievements by hanging up your championships, it had in-game trophies, you could look at your stats, the shop was there so you could unlock stuff, it had everything. I want that to come back, and these are the features I want to see if they bring it back in 2K26 or beyond, right? Since 2K26 is the next game, and they're always looking to bring some new crazy thing to the game, what if this is it? A lot of the stuff I guessed on last year, or should I say this year, it happened. Like a big open area to explore. I was saying an arena, they went and made it an island. I thought exploring the arena would have been cool. That would have been freaking awesome, but they went a step further and went more of the arcade style stuff, goofy style stuff, and made it a freaking island. I mean, that's really cool, but the execution, we've been over that 1,000 times. Anyway, so if they bring back the Locker Room for 2K26 or beyond, these are the features I would love to see added to it, and I feel like if they did this would incentivize people to come back every single year. Now let's get started. Number 1, full room customization like in Animal Crossing or Phantasy Star's creative spaces, Phantasy Star Online. Let me pick the size and shape of the room. Could be from a preset size and shape, but just give me some options, right? So in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, it did have light customization options for your locker. You could change the wall colors, the counter colors, if I'm not mistaken. You can customize some of the furniture, the flooring. Take it a step further and allow us to totally just deck out the whole thing. Since we have the creation tools already built for Create an Arena, just kind of take from that and allow us to do that with the locker room. And I feel like it'd be a lot easier for a locker room because you're not designing it to where it has to run all these pre-made entrances. You could literally just walk around in there, and it would be so much simpler for that. So I think that would be super cool. If you're not familiar with Animal Crossing, the way they do the customization for rooms in particular is super streamlined and easy. You just have all these preset items. You can place them wherever you want. You can move them around. They could easily do that with modern technology, and I feel like this would go a long way for, I hate to bring it up, but they can monetize the crap out of this too. So if they I'm just trying to pitch this idea where it makes sense to them, and it's a cool new feature for us. So if 2K, if you're listening, there you go. It's a brilliant new idea to make money, but don't gouge us like you did with the island. All right, number 2. If we can see outside, let me customize the background aesthetic like a city, stadium, backyard, airport, barn, or fairgrounds, etc. So what I'm talking about here is, let's say your locker room has windows and you can see outside to the outside world. It'd be a simple little customization option where, what do you see outside when you walk up to the window? Obviously you can't go outside because it's just, you're stuck in your locker room, right? But if you can look out the window, it'd be cool to see a big city at day or at night. A city at night would be really cool with all the buildings lit up. If you're in a barn or something with a locker room like that, an arena makes the most sense. They could really go nuts with this. I mean, I don't want to put it out there, but outer space, your locker room could be in outer space. You can just go a little out there. It could be in Bray Wyatt's swamp yard thing. That'd be pretty cool. Swamp grounds. They could really have crazy things happen with this, and customization options and more things for DLC. All right, number 3, much like in the 2007 game, SmackDown vs. Raw, display cabinets for all our in-game accomplishments, like win milestones, title wins, Slammy awards. Let us show off our created championships, also our custom designs, signs, and everything, So in 2007, when you beat your story mode or season mode and you unlock all the championships or you win all the belts through that mode, and I believe when you completed all the major pay-per-views, you would unlock a cool trophy for your in-game achievements, and you would unlock the championship to display in your cabinet. But unfortunately, you can't really interchange those with created belts. You can't really move them around or anything like that. They're just kind of preset in there for when you unlock them. So take it a step further with this new locker room thing, this new design, new modern take on it, and allow us to move them around, display what we want, put up whatever title we want. I mean, the possibilities are endless here. Let us display our created belts. I mean, that would be super cool if I could have the whole cabinet filled with all my custom championships that I've made. That would be super awesome. And that way, when friends come over online, which we'll get to in a second, if you could go online and visit other people's locker rooms, they can come over and look at your championships. So that would be super cool. As we were just leaning into, allow other players to hang in our locker room, either online or in single player. Turn it into the waiting area for lobby matches. Party host is whose locker room you're in. And also allow friends to pick up and wear your championships you have on display, just a little added fun, or slam each other through tables and the furniture as you're waiting. And when you leave, it just resets. Like, you know how in the backstage areas in the other games you could break stuff, throw them through tables? Kind of like that idea. So let's say you have this nice, cool table set up. You have all your merch, your figures, and all your customizations. Just allow each other to just beat the crap out of each other while you're waiting for your match to load. That way you can just have fun waiting in the lobby. What gave me this idea was if you played Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, before you go into a match, there's a cool little waiting area where you can run around. You can't fight each other or anything, but you can do poses and emotes and all sorts of stuff. And it makes it so you're not just sitting in a lobby list and not doing anything. I feel like if AEW Fight Forever had something like this, that would have helped them tremendously, where you're just messing around, hanging out, walking around, interacting with stuff while you're waiting for the next match to basically ping or load up. I feel like this would go a long way for the online people or online players. So this would be a cool social aspect because you could bring in, let's say, 4 people maximum for the first going of this, and it's literally just for lobbies. It's not for, competitive ranked matches, and you can just hang out. You don't even have to start a match. You can literally just hang out in the lobby, chat, and have fun, and show off your creations. Like, hey, look at this new character I just made. And then that would be super cool. So the social aspect alone would really, I think, sell this mode a lot for online players. Number 5, something that's been lacking in the recent 2K games is full-on stat tracking for every mode and wrestler. So I would like that to return in this locker room, kind of like they had it in 2007, where it would track your wins, losses, championships won, how many times they've won each belt, both created and in-game in each mode, like Exhibition, My Rise, Universe, My GM, and Online, if they ever do that again. Also show which wrestler was used the most for each mode. So if you've ever played Smash Brothers, I feel like Smash Brothers has the absolute best stat tracking pretty much in any game ever. It counts how many times you've started up the game, how much damage you've done to each other, the most used character, most knocked out character, least used character, wins, losses, matches played, everything. I want that for these games in this mode. So allows me to just sit there after I've been playing the game for the entire year, go back and look at all the stuff I did. Like, how many matches did I play this year? How many of this I did this year? It kind of has slight stat tracking in 2K25 and the rest of the games, but it's not very, involved. It's very, bare bones. I want full-on, title reigns and everything in here. Kind of like universe mode tracks, but it also messes up a lot. So basically, I just want a streamlined thing, excuse me, for every single mode, all together, not separated by each mode. I feel like that'd be really cool and fun to look at once you're done with the game. Number 6. NPC, non-player character, visitors, allow us to select who can hang out while you are in your locker room. Any main roster or creator wrestler should be able to just hang. I'd say do about 3, so it's not too crazy, and that would add up to the total of 4. So you got yourself and then 3 other characters. So it's kind of like the online lobby thing, and that would be really fun if you're a single player like me and you just want to have your creations hang out in there. They could be doing animations, just sitting on the couch, playing, let's say you have an arcade cabinet sitting there, they could be doing that. They could be playing the latest 2K game, looking on the internet. They could be punching your punching bag. There's so many possibilities that you could do with this, and I think that'd be super fun if they could get this to work. Number 7, storefront to unlock with in-game currency or paid currency for new furniture. We kind of touched on that a little bit in the beginning, or merch. So all your customization options, be able to buy with in-game currency, kind of like they do with the island, where you can either get it with in-game currency, or a paid currency. Basically, you earn the same currency, right? You could buy a bunch of it, or you can try to earn enough. But the way you earn it in the island is kind of a pain, because it doesn't give you enough to really unlock stuff. You have to like play the living crap out of it, and against other people, if you really want to have a chance to unlock everything for, you know, basically free. So I guess they could have the option for both. I really don't like the fact that they tie it all to paid currency, but I mean, as long as it makes sense and they're fair with how much currency you earn in-game, kind of like the old games where you would unlock stuff just by winning in-game currency, that would be probably the best bet. And even AEW did a really good job at that. AEW Fight Forever with their in-game store. Basically, you earn money for playing every single mode, and then you can go to the shop, the in-game shop, and just buy stuff with in-game money. We need that to return. Like, we spend enough money on these games as it is. We don't need crazy more microtransactions, but you know they would if they made this mode. Number 8. Now this is probably the most important thing, and the only reason to even do this mode would be to have this mode carry over to each new game so all our stats stay with us, thus giving players incentive to buy the next game day one. If they want, they could charge for a 2K Plus account, kind of like PS Plus, the Switch Online, stuff like that. And that account would keep track of all our stats, our championship wins, losses, and most importantly, our created wrestlers. I mentioned this the last couple games, because the thing I hate most is having to start from scratch every single year when I start to make my created wrestlers. I try to make about 40 to 50. This year I made it to about 24, 25, and I just stopped because of all the issues and glitches. And then, honestly, I got burned out. So recreating my 50 wrestlers every single year, it takes like the first 3 or 4 months of the game's life before I'm ready to actually play all the modes. But I still end up playing it because, you know, I'm trying to make content and stuff. So I usually make my main 2 characters, Mai and Clint Streiser, and then I try to make myself main event Streiser, and then I do all the modes for YouTube content, and then I go on to try to create other wrestlers if I'm not burned out by the game by then, or if there's a bunch of glitches. And by the time I get all my wrestlers made, the next game's about to come out. So yeah, it's just this endless cycle. I really want our creative wrestlers to carry over to each game, especially if they're not going to drastically change how a creative wrestler works. I feel like this is a fair ask. I mean, any parts that get removed or that are glitching in the next game, just say part removed due to this issue. So let's say you're missing your pants in the next game. As long as your moves set, your base character design, and everything is there, we could work with that and build off of it in the next game, right? I hate having to redo the moves, the entrance, and well, the entrance is easy now, but going through all the entrances, the moves is the time-consuming thing. But I've been pretty smart the last couple of games. I went through and I pretty much made a video of every move I have, so I know exactly which ones to go to for the next game. That way I don't have to sit here and try to search, like, what move did I have again? Because that takes so much time. Number 9. Now, for you MyFaction players, give us a card case display that allows us to show off our MyFaction card collection. Reward players who put lots of time into the mode and don't realize all their cards basically are deleted once the servers get shut down. This would allow players to access their cards after the shutdown, not to use for actual play, but to at least look at their collection. So I feel like it'd be really cool to just have like this cool card cabinet thing where you're sitting there and you're like, you get to set up all your favorite cards that you unlocked, or basically the rarest cards that you unlocked in MyFaction, and it kind of gives you incentive if you ever want to go back and look at your last year's game, or after they shut the servers down and then you lose all your MyFaction cards. A lot of people ask me, is the cards going to carry over? Every single year I get that same question. It's like, no, when they shut the servers down, you lose all your MyFaction progress and all the cards you spent time to get. And it's funny because it's, what is this, the 4th or 5th game now, and people still haven't come to that realization that once they shut the servers down, all the cards you may have purchased or spent all that time getting are gone forever. So this would be a nice little, like, thank you for basically putting all that time in the mode, and then you could look at the cards that you've unlocked in this locker room. That would be really cool. It's like, oh, what cards did I unlock in 2K22, 23, 24, 25? This would keep a track of all of that because you're paying for this Plus membership, right? I think this would be a really cool feature. So, card display, card looking at, be able to pick them up, look at them and stuff. just to give players a big thank you for spending so much time and energy in that mode. Number 10, first person or third person exploration. So when you're walking around in the locker in 2007, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, you can only walk around in first person, which I think they did that because it made it easier for you to look at stuff and see everything, but allow us to walk around in third person with camera control, kind of since they added it last year, and of course first person if you want to look at something up close. So I just think that'd be a really cool addition, walking around in your locker room. Why not? Number 11, allow us to use this locker as a spot to test out community creations from other players before we download. So what they could do is in the middle of your locker room, based on the size and everything, you can have like this miniature little ring to where you go and you basically test out created wrestlers. It just loads them in so you can see what they look like other than just looking at the pictures online. And the mechanics of this would be way too hard, I think, for them to do in 1 year, but I feel like over time they could get to this point to where you can load in a wrestler. You don't actually get to like play as them or anything, but you get a 3D viewer of them while looking at them. That way you can see all the details, see all the cool images, see how the character looks in full 3D, because sometimes you don't know what they fully look like and everything until you download them, and then sometimes the images don't download correctly and it just looks weird. So this would be really cool to see what it looks like, see how the game loads it in before you download created wrestlers. I think that'd be a really cool feature. Number 12, the last one on this list. I kind of went nuts with this. If you watched this far, thank you so much. If you have any other extra stuff afterwards, sound off in the comments down below. I'm still getting over this stupid cold. It won't go away, so if I have to edit out all these coughs and stuff, and if I sound funny in certain spots, that's why. Also, number 12, full wrestler bios like when they had their debut, major career highlights, number of injuries, etc. This should also include your creator wrestlers' careers across universe, MyGM, and MyRise. So in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, it had this cool little menu feature to where it showed when the wrestlers debuted. You could look at the entire roster. It showed their career highlights, and it had a couple cool images of them for like their wrestlers, and it showed off their finisher and signature and stuff like that. That would be really awesome. I know there's way too many wrestlers probably to get that done, but I feel like these games make enough money and sell enough copies to where they could hire a team to go through and add all that in. I think that'd be a really cool feature, especially if it's on this locker thing. So after all of this stuff that I think would be awesome if they could get to work in a new locker room feature, I think the only reason that this wouldn't work is because of contract obligations and negotiations and when they expire and stuff like that with certain wrestlers, because they'd have to take things out every single year if it were to carry over. But if it was just in this one game and then that also reset each game, it'd be another way for engagement and stuff like that, and then they wouldn't have to worry about the contract. So regardless, I would love to see the locker room return. I spent a lot of time in that locker room, as you saw in the video that played in the background for most of the video. I just had it on repeat so you guys could see everything. I hope YouTube doesn't get mad and try to demonetize the channel because of all the funny posters I have hung up in the locker room and stuff like that. So sound off in the comments below. Let me know what features you would like to see return in the locker room feature specifically. Would you like the locker to return, or did you not like the locker and don't miss it? Anyway, sound off in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.